Hey guys, welcome to another video, and for today's video we are gonna do Uuna's storyline. So for starters, I'll just show those that maybe want to do this on their own time how you get Uuna. How you get Uuna is from the many-faced devourer, but there are a couple of steps you gotta do prior because you actually have to be able to summon him out. So everything you need to do will be in Argus and over in Antoran Wastes. Your first step is you need the Call of the Devourer. That is at 5539. Then you need to get 3 bones. You can get the Urzul bone at 5056, the Imp bone at 6526, the Fiend bone at 5235, and then you head over to the Many-Faced Devourer, which is at 5439. And at that point, you've done everything you need to be able to summon him. And then you just kill him for Uuna's doll. And Uuna's doll is what allows you to summon out Uuna. She is a 5% drop chance. So you may have to come back multiple times to get her depending on your luck, but once you've done these bone steps, you don't have to do that anymore. If you don't get her on the first time, then all you have to do is just return to the same area you see me at right now to summon them out and try again. And you can of course do this every day until you get Uuna's doll. So now that we have Uuna's doll, let's start up the storyline. Okay, so she starts by saying, "Mama, Mama, why is it so dark? It's scary here." And then you whistle at her, and she says, "Hello, who's there? I heard you. Who are you? Can you help me? It's so dark, I can't see a thing." At this point, you'll roar at her. Yeah, and she'll get scared and run away and despawn, but don't worry, you can bring her back. And she says, "A monster, help, help." And at this point, you bring her back and use the /cry on her. She'll say, "Are you sad too? Are you lost like me? At least we're together now. We just don't know where we are. But you're my friend and I know it's going to be okay. I wish I could see better. It's always so dark here." So this is kind of your first clue that you're going to Shat City because there's some bright lights over there. So our next trip is Shat. So as soon as you port into Shat City, you're right where you need to be. And just walk towards Adele, and she will too. And she says, "What's that? A light in the darkness? It's so bright." "It's too bright, ow." So now a little more travel. We are going to Ashenvale now. Coordinates are 1841, and it's the Lake Falatham that we're going to go to. Just bring Uuna to the moonlight that's over here, and she will say, "It's gotten a little brighter. I can see, sorta. Oh, hi, who are you? I'm Uuna. Want to be friends? Maybe together we can get out of this place. I wish Nu was here. He'd know what to do." Okay, so Nu is over at Mechari at 2458. But before we go, if you're following along and doing this with me, which is why I'm kind of making this a storyline, aka guide as well. But if you are following along, I highly suggest making sure you have some Goblin Gliders on you or something like that. Being a demon hunter is not enough, so if you're thinking, "I'll just, use my glide on my demon hunter," not enough. You need some Goblin Gliders. So make sure you have some. I would say at least a few just in case you screw up this next part, but as a safe bet, go with like 5 just in case. Just in case. It would suck to go all the way there and then have to go back, unless you have your Bruto, I guess. Okay, so once you've done that, You're free to go to the location. Once again, 2458. And there's going to be 2 platforms. If you're aware of where the dungeon is out there, it's right there, like right in front of the dungeon, pretty much. So you'll see 2 platforms. And the first one, you could get away without the glider. It's kind of close enough to where you're starting that as a druid, you could dash and jump to it. And as a demon hunter, you could easily glide. You know, yeah, if you got a little speed, you could get away with not using a goblin glider for that one. But the second one is a long distance. So you definitely need a glider for that second one. And one other thing, just for those that are maybe new to using goblin gliders, there is a cooldown. So if you do use it for the first platform, don't use it right away again. You're gonna need to just kind of sit there and wait it out for a few minutes so that your glider is ready for you. So once you get to the second one, you'll see a little abandoned house. Just go in there. Nu is in there, and Uuna will pick him up, and she goes, Nu, I was scared I'd never see you again. How did you get here? Nu is here to help us, friend. I knew you'd find us, Nu. I'll hold on to him so he doesn't get lost again. At this part, we're ready to leave. Obviously, you can just hearth out. It would be a pain to do anything other than that. And our next stop is Bloodwatch out in Bloodmist Isle. So best way to get there is just to take a portal to Exodar. So you're really not in this area for very long. You're going to 5656, which is basically the flight path. And right in front of the flight path is a table, and you'll see a wand there. Make sure Una's summoned out, and she'll walk up to the wand and grab it. She says, I used to have a wand like that, lost it a long time ago. It shoots stars. Bad guys really hate that. So at this point, our next step is a wad. So you can just use your wad Hearthstone at this point. And we're going to be going to Shadow Moon Valley, which is perfect because that's where your Hearthstone is. And you're going to be going to the coordinates 5641. So on one of these sitting areas is a crown. She'll pick up the crown from the chair, put it on her head, and she says, a crown, so pretty. You can't fight the dark without a crown, friend. It's the rules. I feel a lot better now. And unfortunately, at this point, she gets kidnapped. The kidnapping does take a little bit, so just wait through until you see it happen. For me, it took almost a minute before it happened. Nothing was going on for a while. So just, sit tight and wait for the next scene. And she'll say, it's dark again. Where did you go? Don't leave me. No, let me go. Help, friend, help. And of course you can't help, so. So for this part, you need to get marked. And basically, you're unable to summon Uuna. I've tried summoning her just to show you guys that you can't. And so you need to talk to a spirit healer so that you can get back in touch with Uuna. I, for the life of me, could not remember where a spirit healer was in WoD. So I chose to just fly high up in the air and plunge to my death. Best way to get to a spirit healer is to just die. So that's the best way to do it. Just figure out a way to kill yourself and you'll get to the spirit healer. there will be a dialogue there that says, I'm looking for a little girl named Uuna. Have you seen her? And it will respond with, I have heard the cries of the child you speak of. I shall mark you, that you may pass into this realm and seek her out. She resides in a place where the barrier between the realms of life and death are thin and spill over into your world. Be warned, you have no power in this place. Its denizens cannot be harmed by mortals. Try as you might, you may not be able to aid your friend. So once you've, more or less been marked, you won't see the mark on you. So, like, as long as you've done that dialogue, you're free to go. And your next place you're going is Old Northrend. And you're going to hit up Dragonblight. And the coordinates are 6674. So once you get to this location, you will see a shadow tier. And all you do is just click that, and that will start up the scenario. Okay, so once you get back to Uuna here, just do /cheer at her and she'll start up her next dialogue. She's gonna say, friend, is that you? I won't give up, friend, I promise. I'm just so cold and it's very dark here. I don't know what to do. So this is kind of a hint to warm her up. And then set out a campfire for her. And then she'll say, there you are, that's much better. They're gonna be here soon, friend. I keep running and running, but they always find me. But now you're here. Together we can fight them, I think. Promise you won't leave me, friend, even when it gets dark. They're here. Go away. We're not afraid of you. So at this point, you're not fighting, because you can't. But what you're going to do is you just run into them. Make sure you walk right into them. And it will make them run further. And one thing I noticed is if you keep running into them, they'll run further and further back. So you could do that. She will get overwhelmed and they'll start coming in a lot faster. And basically what your mission here is, well, one, you don't want them getting near her. She's actually pretty brave in this scenario. I was really impressed. She uses her wand to help you. I really didn't think that when she said we'd fight together that she actually meant it. I was really impressed that she actually fought with you. So basically you want to make sure they don't touch her, and you have to wait for her next dialogue. So what you're waiting for is she's gonna say, friend, are you still there? I'm scared. I can't do it. I just want to go home. Uuna wraps her arms around herself and begins to cry. As soon as you see that dialogue, you quickly do a /hug on her. I found it was easier to make a macro, so I made a macro for this part just so that it went on her fast, because at this point they're literally about to touch her, So definitely a macro helps for this part so that you don't have to spend the time typing it out. And then at this point she says, for friend, you're here. You didn't leave me. Mama told me the light would always find me. That's you, friend. You're my light. Which I thought was so adorable. And as long as my light is with me, there's no way the darkness can win. My light is super strong. I'm not going to be afraid anymore. I am ready. Let's begin the ritual. The darkness is gone. I can see. Oh, friend, we did it. We beat them. What? What's happening? The light. It's telling me to follow it. Mama? Papa? They're waiting for me. Wait a sec. There's so much I never got to do. So many places I never got to see. Is it okay if I stay with my friend for just a little while longer? Friend? The light says I can stay. Woohoo! Tell Mama and Papa I miss them and I'll see them soon. Okay, friend, let's get out of here. We have so many places to go. And then Uuna hugs you. Now, if you happen to fail this part, you can always click the shadow tier again to restart it. So it's very easy to redo if you do fail. Now comes a lot of travel. So this next part is what's called Uuna's World Tour. She wants to go visit a bunch of places. And the first place we're going to is Vale of Eternal Blossoms out in Pandaland. And we're going to go to the Gate of the Setting Sun. Now, you may want to do the steps I did first if you have your veil set to be a Fae version. So what I did first is instead of going straight to the Gate of the Setting Sun, I went over to Mogshan Palace so that I could put the time frame back to the original. So definitely a step you're going to want to do if your stuff is set to be a Fae. Light bless. And then at that point you can head over to the Gate of the Setting Sun. So this part was a little buggy for me, but if you just keep trying, you'll get it. So you're going to walk up to the wall and she'll say, wow, that's the biggest wall I've ever seen. What do you suppose they wanted to keep out? Is it bugs? I bet it's bugs. Yuck. I hate bugs. Ew. I'm with her. I hate bugs too. And the coordinates for this is 859. And once she's finished doing her dialogue for that, you can head off to the next area. The next area will be Nighthold over in Suramar. We'll be going to 6283. And no, it's not right in the raid. I was thinking that as well, if you are thinking that. And it's in a non-instance type Nighthold. So I will show you exactly the path I took to get to the proper area, because this part could be a little confusing. So once you get there, she's gonna say, wow, that's gotta be the prettiest house ever. Do you know who lives there? I bet it's a princess. Do you want to play princesses with me? And once her dialogue is done, you are now heading up Dalaran, the Legion version. And this part's really easy because when you go there, if you're using your hearth anyway, you're gonna be right at the landing, which is by the flight path and all that, and that's where you go. So you head towards the flight path, just like walk into the middle of the area, and she'll say, whoa, a flying city. Are you serious? How does it do that? Do you live here? Come to think of it, do you live anywhere? I feel like even Uuna wants us to have player housing, right? That's the hint I got from that line. Honestly, as far as player housing does go, I have always felt like our home has been the garrison, because the garrison's the closest to player housing we ever really got. And you have everything in it. Like my garrison has, a bank, an auction house, a black market, there's those buildings that you can go in. There's a fishing thing on the other side, a mining area, a portal to Ashron, which leads to many other portals. And Yeah, I always felt like the garrison was a home, but I understand people wanting like a legit house. Anyways, our next destination is back to Dragonblight, and it's right where you'd land, but I'll give you coordinates anyway. 5754. And all you're gonna do is walk up to the left set of guys that you see us walking up to right now, and Uuna will say, "Hey, what are those flying things? They are so pretty. That's a big tower. It's like a giant birdhouse, but for lizard birds. Can I have one for a pet?" Our next destination is Mount Hygiel. So, of course, you can easily get there from Stormwind. For those that are maybe newish to the game, it's next to the panda portals, which you probably would never have a reason to use anymore. So, just watch where I go, I guess. Because I feel like, due to the way the game is now, there probably isn't a whole lot of reason to ever go over here. So, yeah. But anyway, we're going to Mount Hygiel, and it's pretty much right where you port in. So you're just gonna go around the lake there. Uuna will say, "Friend, look, we're under a giant tree. I wonder how many birds live in that tree. Must be so many, like 10 birds. Ka 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 ka." God, it is so cute. And once she's done her dialogue here, then you can go hit up Kunlai Summit, which is back in Pandaland, and we're going to 4452. And at this point, she's going to say, "I can see everything from here. I didn't know mountains could go this high. Don't fall off, friend. I'll be okay if I fall, but you'd go splat. So be careful, okay?" Aw, so considerate, Uuna. And once that dialogue's done, you can hit up Blackrock Mountain. Technically, it's we're going to Burning Steps, so it'll be 1731. And when you're inside Blackrock Mountain, it's 3767. Of course, you can go to Searing Gorge as well, but it's a lot faster, Burning Steps, because it's like kind of at the beginning of where you would enter. And she says, "Where are we? Why is it so smoky? Look down there, it's all glowy. But it's moving like water. It's a glowing lake. That's really silly, friend." And then we have our final destination, which is back to Wad, so you can use your Wad Hearthstone at this point. And we're going to the Temple of Karabor, which is 7046. And Uuna says, "It's so beautiful. My people are here. They survived. They didn't die on Argus?" And then she will also say, "Thank you so much for showing me this, friend. You've shown me so many neat things. You really are the best friend ever. I know someday I'll have to go back to Mama and Papa, but not yet." And she will give you a hug, and that is basically the reward for doing this. So there's two things you more or less get out of doing the storyline. Well, three things, because I think the number one thing should be the experience. I thought this was a really great storyline. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm super happy that I finally went and got Uuna and did this story. So that is your number one reason for doing it. But as far as legit rewards, she will always hug you now every time you hug her. And her appearance is different now. I'll show you right here, but this is her appearance from when we first got her on the left side here, and then on the right side, this is her new appearance. So she holds on to everything she's collected along the way, like the wand and the crown and all that. So, yeah, that is the Uuna storyline. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I thought it was great. One other thing too is that if you want to do other storylines, she is the prerequisite to basically a couple of other ones. One I'm gonna have on the channel for you guys tomorrow. So if you liked, sitting through this story, then maybe you'll like sitting through the next one. And yeah, so she's the prerequisite to getting bail and also the waste of time. The waste of time I'm working on as we speak, and it won't be on the channel this week, but it will eventually be on the channel. But bail I'll have for you guys tomorrow. So yeah, she's definitely worth getting. Of course, if you just want her as a, non-combat companion, you can just do the very beginning that you saw in this video and then be done with it. But I think it's definitely worth it to go through the story. It's a lot of fun, and it's not too difficult, honestly. The toughest part would be probably the platform part, but that wasn't even really that tough. So yeah, it's really not that bad. And that concludes today's video. So I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.